Hi guys, now I know that you guys are having a really hard time with this, so I'm going to go step by step exactly from the beginning what you need to do. Now, because you have an IEP or a 504, you are going to be doing a modification to this assignment. We're going to run out of time, and it's not going to give you enough time to finish or get your extra 2 weeks. The school year is ending. So instead of doing the 18 different pages that are normal for everyone else, you're going to go and do 9. That's one entry per chapter. One entry per chapter. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to ignore our home. We're going to do that last. We're going to go to chapter 1. Now, in order to make sure that we have everything we need on our pages, we're going to grab this content block number 1 and we're going to drop it onto each one of the chapters. This makes sure that we have all of the components that Ms. Bars asked for. If we want to get fancy about stuff later, we can, but the reality is that you're going to be basing the grade largely on what you write. So it's super important that you turn around and that you have exactly what I ask for. Now I've gone through each one and dropped this canister. Now, here's where a lot of people are having a hard time. I have told you you cannot have all historical analyses. You must have a mixture of historical and literary. This scares some of you because you're a little afraid. Now, we've discussed this handout, and you guys have actually seen it every single day. You're going to pick one topic and you're going to cover it. So, for instance, chapter 1 is in red. I now have to decide, do I want to do historical or literary? Since I have to do 5 literary and 4 historical, I am going to decide to do a literary because it's really kind of easy. And I've decided that I'm going to use the use of color as a chapter and symbol in white in D&T's home. Now, I'm going to go over here. I am going to put down white as a symbol so I remember what it is. I'm going to add a picture. So I'm going to go and select an image. I'm going to go to Google Images. I'm going to put white curtain because I remember that there are white curtains in Daisy and Tom's home. And then I'm going to insert. Now I've got 2 pieces and I know what they are. Now, since I'm super me, I'm going to put chapter 1, literary analysis. That way I remember that I have a literary analysis here. And now I just have 4 history and 4 literary. I'm going to go to chapter 2. I'm going to go back to where I took my notes, and now we're on orange. Now, for this one, I really, really, really like to look at the Valley of Ashes as a metaphor for hell. So I'm going to put here ashes in hell. Now, I know you guys are going to love to curse. I know you. I'm going to change this and put literary analysis. And I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to again grab an image, go to Google Images, and I'm going to say ash heap. And it actually shows pictures of ash heaps and people trying to live in ash heaps. This one is perfect. I'm going to insert it, and it's going to make it a little bit bigger for my page. And there we go. Now, so far so good. Going to go to chapter 3 because Ms. Barr's checking chapters 1 through 5. And I'm going to go back, take a look at my green. Okay, when I took my notes, I decided that I really, 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 really wanted to look at mobsters in the 1920s. So I'm going to go back over here and put I'm doing a historical analysis. And I am going to do mobsters. I'm going to go up through here, select my image, go to Google Images, put mobster. I'm going to pick Al Capone. I'm going to say insert, and there I've got him. Now I've got my next one is chapter 4. When I go back to my discussion that I had with my classroom, I noticed that I had this. Now, I liked how cars are portrayed as freedom in the book. So I can talk about how cars are super freeing and how they're independence. But I also know that I really, really liked looking at the idea of all that Tom did, or sorry, all that Gatsby did while he was gone. And one of the big things he did was hunting big game. So I'm going to hit copy. And I'm going to put hunting big game, or I'm just going to Control Z. Hunting big game. I'm going to be doing an historical analysis. Now I got to be careful because now I only have 2 historical analysis left. Going to insert my, you know what, this time I'm going to insert a YouTube video. So I'm going to go hunting big game, not games. Now there's some really horrible things on here. And I think I really want something more about how it's wrong. Oh, we got tons of stuff. How about we do 1920s? Hunting big game in Canada. Vintage hunting photos show a real life era. Select. So there we go. We can use that. And then we are going to go to chapter 5. So up and over. Now, if I go and take a look at chapter 5, I know I only have 2 historical analysis left. So I'm going to want to do a literary. And I really liked the rain as a symbol of renewal. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put rain equals renewal. I'm going to go take a look over here. Again, select an image. You know what? I'm going to do something even nicer. I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to put an ASMR on there. So I'm going to put rainfall. 10 hours of rain and relaxation. That's perfect. We're going to select that and put that puppy in there. Isn't that wonderful? I'm going to put over here, get rid of my A, and I'm going to put literary analysis. Now, I've gotten chapters 1 through 5, and I know that I've got a good plan as to what I want to do. I still have 2 historical analysis and 2 literary analysis, and I've got 4 chapters left. That's wonderful. So I'm going to go back to chapter 1, and I'm going to write my paragraph. Now, my beloved ones, if you remember, I've got to be very careful that I don't give you answers because then you can accidentally use my work and not do your own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that fake paragraph that I showed you. Now, this is a completely fake paragraph. It in no way actually answers the question. It gives you the right structure, but in this case, it talks about orange. Now, I got love for you guys, and it's all happy. Now, what I did was I started off talking about the book. Color is a great significance in the world of Great Gatsby. Throughout the book, Fitzgerald, that's our last name of our author, weaves a tapestry of color that is more than just a piece of American semiotics. One of the most connected threads running through the book is the color orange. So I introduced the book, I introduced what I was going to talk about, and now I'm going to show you how he uses orange. Fitzgerald uses the color orange to connect wealthier characters to their spiritual natures. So, for instance, if we're talking about white, we're going to talk about how Fitzgerald uses white to mean innocence and wealth, and how he has Daisy wear it and Jordan wear it, how it's all of the Buchanan's house. So there we are. And then I give you 3 examples of where he uses the color orange. Now, my last thing is the characters either wear or surrounded themselves with orange when they are connecting with their spiritual selves. You're going to tell me that these characters are either seen with white or are in white when this happens, or to show this characteristic. Bye. Now, sorry about that, guys. So it's very important that at this very end, you've given me the evidence, you give me the analysis. You're going to tell me why it's important. You're going to tell me that, white shows wealth because it's one of those things that's not easy to clean, so somebody else is going to clean it for you, or that you can throw it away because you're so rich you can get another one, or it shows innocence because it is considered pure and it's considered unfeathered and untouched, and it's considered to be something that's pristine and all by itself. So you're going to put your literary analysis. Now I've got my paragraph, I've got my beautiful one with citations from the book, and just citations from the book because it's literary analysis, and I've got my picture. So all is well and good. So far, so good. Now I'm going to go chapter 2. We're going to do another literary analysis. So I'm going to do just another beautiful paragraph where I introduce with a topic sentence, I give a reason, I show evidence, I do an analysis. You hearing me? And then I get a tie back. It's just a treat paragraph. And of course, I'm going to just use the book because it's literary. Let's go to a historical one so we can help on that. Now, in the historical analysis for chapter 3, I'm going to do something on mobsters. Now, of course, I cannot give you a paragraph on mobsters. You will copy me. So I'm going to give you a example that has a perfect paragraph. It's gorgeous, but it is not about mobsters. So I decided to talk about just the history. You're just going to give me the history of mobsters, a couple of important mobsters. And then I made sure to hyperlink all of my little pieces so that I can go directly to where I got my source. Now, also, I gave you the citation with the author's last name. They just happen to be me. Para and the number. Notice there's no extra anything, no extra periods, no extra anything. They need to be just like this. Now, again, it's just a little treat paragraph, a little information. It's not a big deal. Now, if you chose mobsters as one of the ones that you could use, I think you would be really, really smart to go over to your Google Classroom. Because if you remember, my little ones, you guys did that slideshow, that 1920s slideshow. Control F, 1920. There it is, loves. Now, if you look in this puppy, you're going to find a section on mobsters. Now, the good thing about that is all of the people that worked on this had to give you their references. And in giving you references, organized crime, there's the mobsters. Since they gave you their references, you can go have them. And look, there they are. So do yourself a good job. Now, remember, this puppy does have plagiarism check. So if you copy and paste this, I'm going to know. But literally, look at all these little things that you can go to. Super easy. No reason for you to stress. Now, I know that you're going to be a little stressed out about this no matter what I say. But the reality is you're going to be fine. You just have to remember that you're going to have 5 literary analysis and 4 historical analysis. You're going to have 1 paragraph per page. You're going to make sure that you embed an image or a video in each. You're not going to use your cell phone or I'm going to have to fail you. Sorry about that, little ones. I've got my kids taking a test. And of course, being on their cell phone would be considered cheating. And according to TUSD, that equals a failing grade for the entire semester. Now, beloved people, take your time. Don't stress out. Have a good night.